Once upon a time there lived an unhappy young girl. Her mother was dead, and her father had married a widow with two daughters. Her stepmother didn't like her one little bit. She had to work hard all day. Only when evening came was she allowed to sit for a while by the fire, near the cinders. That's why everybody called her Cinderella. One day, beautiful new dresses arrived at the house. A ball was to be held at the palace, and the stepsisters were getting ready to go. Cinderella didn't even dare ask if she could go too. She knew very well what the answer would be. Suddenly, something amazing happened. As Cinderella was sitting all alone, there was a burst of light and a fairy appeared.
Don't be alarmed, Cinderella, said the fairy. I know you would love to go to the ball, and so you shall.
How can I, dressed in rags?
Cinderella replied.
The servants will turn me away.
The fairy smiled. With the flick of her magic wand, Cinderella found herself wearing the most beautiful dress she had ever seen. Cinderella had a wonderful time at the ball until she heard the first stroke of midnight. She remembered what the fairy had said, and without a word of goodbye, she slipped from the prince's arms and ran down the steps. As she ran, she lost one of her slippers, but not for a moment did she dream of stopping to pick it up. If the last stroke of midnight were to sound, oh, what a disaster that would be! Out she fled and vanished into the night. The prince, who was now madly in love with her, picked up the slipper and said to his ministers, "Go and search everywhere for the girl whose foot this slipper fits. I will never be content until I find her." So the ministers tried the slipper on the foot of every girl in the land until Cinderella was left. The shoe fit perfectly. The ministers said, "Come with us, Cinderella. The prince is waiting for you." So Cinderella married the prince and lived happily ever after.